Welcome into a Wednesday morning edition of the Daily Juice Podcast. My name is Matt Perrault. I am your host every morning here on BettingPros.com, on YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts. We are being brought to you by BetMGM. And well, hopefully you've been taking advantage of this offer, the $20 bet to win $100 in any event when you sign up for a new account using that promo code JUICE100 at BetMGM.com or on the BetMGM app because, well, we've hit one of those stretches where things just aren't really going well. So this is part of it. I mean, this is one of the unfortunate things that happen, and I often talk about, look, if I'm making you money and you guys are fading me, I'm okay with you fading me. I'm okay if, Matt, you're ice cold, and I have been. Going into last night, I was 11-14 on the podcast. Down, I think, 1 unit is what we were down. Now, after last night, a 1-4 night last night, only one prop right. We will go over the picks here in a second, but a bad night last night. We have not had, it's been over like a week and a half since we fell on our face badly like that. But 12-18 now over the last 8 days, down 2.5 units. That's just not good. And this is kind of the barren desert, and we're, fighting our way through this here. So, look, when the picks suck, and it's on me, and it's there's no other person to point the finger at. It's on me. And baseball was bad again last night. The Red Sox win 7-6. They don't cover the run line. The Rays lose 4-3. They get a home run in the top of the ninth inning that's a solo shot instead of a two-run shot. Would have tied the game, unfortunately. It's a 4-3 win for the Nationals. Schwarber goes deep. That was the difference in the game. I said, hope maybe he goes deep, but he'll go deep and they can recover from it. He hit a home run in the first inning. And that was the difference, the 4-3 win for the Nationals. He's just killing the baseball. Broke the record now for the most home runs in the month of June. It's incredible what he's been able to do. And Pivetta wasn't very good. And the Red Sox, scored 7 runs, and the over was the play in that game. And unfortunately, I played the run line, so that was on me. That's a bad bet. And so that goes 0-2. And then the Bucks game was a disaster. I mean, I was nervous about it. It went pretty much how I thought it was going to go. The public did not go, and they ran away from the Hawks. The second Trae Young got ruled out. Everybody was hammering the Bucks. And then the first half was a disaster. Milwaukee is the most inconsistent team I've ever seen for a high-quality team that might actually win the NBA championship. They just are completely untrustworthy. And they laid an egg in the first half. And then Giannis got hurt in the second half. And that's it. That was the game. And credit Atlanta, it's 2-2. I'm not really sure why the fans were chanting, see you later, and no, hey, goodbye to the Bucks. Like, what? It's 2-2. You're gonna see them again. You're gonna see them in Game 6. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't understand. That didn't make any sense to me what the Bucks fans were doing. But okay, the Hawk fans are doing. They're not used to this. This is all kind of brand new to them. So okay, I understand. It's a little crazy. It's a little bit of a different spin. And right now it's been tough, and I'm a little frustrated. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little bit annoyed by the whole thing as to kind of where we're going and what we're doing, but, it is what it is. So here is where I'm going today, and I'm just going to, I have a sign over here in my room that just is going to trust yourself. So when you have a really bad night or you're going poorly, you just try to figure out kind of what you're going to do. So here's where I am. I have a NHL play. I have an NHL play. I have a basketball play. I have a baseball play, and I have a golf play for you guys here today. Okay. So if you want to fade these bets, you are not going to insult me in the least. In particular, when I'm betting soccer, which luckily we don't have to today, but when soccer is up on July the 2nd and we have to bet the quarterfinals of the Euros, you want to fade that? Go right ahead. The soccer bet failed yesterday. The Discord bet's now 5-9. Ouch. And I'm 0 for my last 5 when it comes to bets. I didn't bet that, but it was part of the podcast. So the last 5 bets we've made have all been not there. So, it is what it is. So let's start with hockey. And Montreal in Tampa. This game is going to be in Tampa. Now, the total for this continues to be 5.5 at FanDuel. And they are juicing the holy heck out of this. Okay, it's 5.5 minus 170. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Okay, I'm not going to lay that type of juice. So here's where I am, and I I want to bet the under 5. I really, really do, and I feel like I'm gonna screw myself here because I should have bet 5 and the over, right? I should have bet 5 and the over in game 1. That's what I should have bet because 5 was there. I should have listened. A lot of you guys are like, Matt, you've trained us to see 5, bet 5 over, period. I'm going to follow my own advice tonight and today, and I'm going to hate myself because it's going to be a 2-1 win, and I'm going to just grit and be so mad at myself for not betting the under here and not just saying, fine, I'm laying the minus 170, but 5 at minus 110 and the over. I'm going to bet 5 in the over. I'm going to hope for a 3-2 win for someone or a 4-1 win for somebody. Maybe we get a push. Maybe we get a 4-2 game out of it. And hopefully that Tampa Bay power play just is so lethal that maybe when it goes to Tampa or it goes to Montreal, it changes. But I've got 5. I'm firing over 5. Good push potential here. Minus 110. Canadians and Montreal. Take the 5. Over 5. And maybe we get a 4-2 win. Can Montreal score 2 goals? I hope so. We know that the Tampa Bay Lightning can score 3 or more. That's kind of just there. By the way, I don't hate a team total bet either. You want to jump on a team total bet for Montreal? Go right ahead. And I may have a player prop on a goal. I mean, Braden Point to score a goal is plus 164 at FanDuel. That may be one of our props tonight. I'm just going to kind of we'll work our way through that. The props will be on the Discord channel coming up here for that. So over 5, minus 110, first play, Montreal and Tampa. I'm just going to follow my own deal, even though everything's telling me to bet under. I'm just going to grit my teeth and say fine and say, okay, because every game Montreal is in, the under is hitting. So Montreal is going to have to get blown out again, and I just don't know if Montreal gets blown out again, but I'm going to follow my own rule that I should have followed in game 1. I'm going to follow it in game 2, and I'm ice cold, so I have to just trust myself and say, okay, I'm not selling this all that well. You're probably going to bet the under, and that's fine. I have no problem with you fading this pick, given where I am right now. I am ice, so I'm just going to keep trusting myself. 5 in the over for Tampa Bay and Montreal. Okay, play number 2. Let's talk about the game tonight between the Phoenix Suns and the LA Clippers. I have no idea who wins this game. Honest to gosh, I have no idea. I was on the Clippers last game. I want to be on the Suns this game. Line is a pick here in Vegas. Phoenix getting public money. It'll be 1.5, 2 by the time the game goes off. Phoenix money coming in like crazy. The only thing I have bet on this game so far is the under. The total is 215. The logic is this. The 2 games that were played in LA between Phoenix and the Clippers, total was 221. It went under by 23 points. The under was 217.5. It went under by 53.5 points. Yes, it went over by 213.5. I've got 215. I'm betting the under here because I think in a closeout game, the fourth quarter gets really tight. 2, possessions way down. I think the Suns are going to lock down defensively. I don't think they want to give up 116 points again to the Clippers. I think they want to try to stop Paul George and make somebody else beat them. So I think they're going to lock in on him and say, look, if it's Reggie Jackson or somebody else, that's fine. But Paul George is not scoring 41 points on us and sending this back to Phoenix for a Game 7. I expect a pretty slow-paced game. I expect a methodical defensive game between these two teams. And look, 3-point shooting, the game only went over by 4.5 points in game number 5, and that's with the incredible fourth quarter, the incredible shooting for the Clippers in the game overall. I mean, Marcus Morris goes for 20 points in the first half. I don't think those things happen again. I don't know who wins this game. I'm honest to goodness, completely befuddled. 215, I'm playing the under 215 at minus 110 for a half a unit between the Clippers and the Suns. All right, one baseball bet to get into. I don't need to explain this all that much, but this might be our guy Cole Brewster's favorite bet, and I probably shouldn't bet a half a unit on this, but fine, I'm betting half a unit. These are the baseball bets that I like to get out of the way because it's not a lot of suffering, right? If you lose and you miss, they just, it's a quick shot to the head and you're done, right? It's quick and it's easy. So here is Chad Kuhl up against John Gray. I think we just had this pitching matchup, and it went yes to a run being scored. Yes, Run scored in the first inning, minus 140. BetMGM's got the minus 140 at the time of taping. Chad Kuhl at 2-4 with a 5.05 ERA, but he is 9-0 to the yes with runs in the first inning. He is an absolute moneymaker, and this game's at Coors Field in Colorado. Hello. All right, so in yesterday's game, it was an 8-0 victory, and no runs were scored in the first inning, amazingly enough. That did not hit. But in the game before that, at the 2-0 win for the Rockies, there were no runs scored. So we have not had a first run scored yet in this series, right? Between these two teams? I think that's right. Yeah, we have not had this yet. It's game 6. So everyone is due. The Pirates are due. The Rockies are due. Chad Kuhl is due. John Gray, 4-6, 3.97 ERA. Pretty good whip, 1.26. But this is more of a bet on the fact that Chad Kuhl, 9-0 in games he starts. Rocky starts for him. Rocky starts for his opponent. And it is against the Colorado Rockies. It all makes sense. It all fits together. Half a unit. This is probably a bad idea at minus 140, but I got to put a half a unit on it because minus 140 is too juicy to put a quarter unit on it. So we got to ride with Chad Kuhl, the moneymaker that he has been for the Pittsburgh Pirates when it comes to the yes run in the first inning. We're going Chad Kuhl against John Gray on the yes for a half a unit. I have a golf bet I want to give you now, okay? So here is just a quickie heads up as to what's going to happen over the rest of this week. So I am going on vacation, and I will be leaving to go to Temecula, and then I'm going to San Diego. I leave first thing crack of dawn Friday morning. So I'm going to be most likely taping the podcast for Thursday before we actually get all of the games to be finished. So I probably won't know the record, what will happen. I'll tape it before so you guys will get it really early. And then I will be on the road. I'll be in California for 6 days. So there's going to be a little bit of a craziness. And I mean, player props are probably going to be paused. I probably will have only a couple of plays every day. It's just kind of how it is. And one of the things about doing a daily betting podcast every single day, and we are approaching the 365th edition of the Daily Juice podcast for every single day. Our 1-year anniversary will be on July the 7th. And so because of that, it's just, these are like, someone used to say to me, like, what happens when you go on vacation? Like, well, the podcast still goes on, but the podcast will be different. It'll be lighter than normal. So just give me a little time to kind of recharge because I need it. Clearly, after the 8 days I've had betting, I need the R&R. And I need to just kind of clear my head and kind of get away from it all. So I'll still have a couple of plays a day, but it's not going to be, the podcast is not going to be 20 minutes. It's going to be quick. It's going to be kind of a check-in. Hi, how we're doing? You know, this is the game. This is the bet, whatever. And that's kind of how it's going to be. So just a heads up as to how we go into the next week. So I'm going to give you the play right now for golf. And it is Bryson DeChambeau, who is back at the Detroit Golf Club, the defending champ at the Rocket Mortgage. Bryson can win this tournament going away. He's only like plus 700 to win the tournament, okay? But he's Bryson, and he can blow up, and he can blow it. He can have a snowman on a par 3 or a 10 on a par 4. You just don't know. But this golf course sets up perfectly for him. It is dead straight. There's not a lot of trouble, and this dude grips it and rips it. I don't trust him, though. I don't trust him. He's a Rocket Mortgage sponsored dude. This is his tournament in a lot of ways. He wants to win this thing, but I don't trust him to win this thing. So what I have is Bryson DeChambeau in a group, okay? Different books are going to put this up differently. At the Westgate here in Las Vegas, you can get Bryson DeChambeau up against Patrick Reed, Hideki Matsuyama, and Webb Simpson. Now, Webb Simpson might be hurt. He's been battling injuries all year long. He has not been playing very well. Patrick Reed, not all that worried about Patrick Reed. Hideki Matsuyama, okay, very good player, but again, this is Bryson. If he plays well, he could very well win the whole thing. I got plus 225 on Bryson in the Rocket Mortgage Classic in a group to win this group of these 4 golfers. Plus 225, he's the favorite to do it. It's not like I'm going, I'm playing chalk here, but I'm playing chalk with plus money up against a guy who has the ability to hit pitching wedges into every single. This is driver pitching wedge type of golf for Bryson DeChambeau for this golf course. He should tear this thing apart with his length. This is his, and this is where he wants to play well because, well, Rocket Mortgage is a big sponsor of him. So plus 225, Bryson DeChambeau over Patrick Reed, Hideki Matsuyama, and Webb Simpson in a group. Different books have different groupings, but find a grouping for Bryson DeChambeau. Take the plus money, Bryson to win that group. He very well might win the whole tournament. You want to sprinkle on that? Go right ahead. Not a bad idea. I'm just not going to do it. I don't trust Bryson, but Bryson in that grouping, 4-round bet now. Okay, this is for the whole tournament, not round one, not round two. The whole round for Bryson to win that group coming up on Sunday of the Rocket Mortgage, which starts on Thursday. Not tomorrow, on Thursday for the Rocket Mortgage. Okay, so those are the plays coming up here for today. Okay, to recap, NHL, Game 2, Stanley Cup, over 5 minus 110. We're going under 215 minus 110 for the NBA game, Suns and the Clippers. Chad Kuhl and the Pirates, yes, run in the first inning against the Rockies for a half a unit at minus 140. And Bryson to win that group at plus 225. I will have props. Baseball, maybe hockey. I'll have 2 props coming up today in the Discord channel as well, as we've got a half a unit hanging out there that I got to go take care of for today that I will make sure we get that done. Went 1-1 on the props yesterday. How about 1 assist from Clint Capella winning the only bet of the day yesterday? Rough. Hopefully today goes better, but I'm going to kind of watch with my hands over my eyes going, uh-oh. I just... Not seeing the board all that well right now, but, that happens, unfortunately. BettingPros.com/chat to get in the Discord channel. My name is Matt Perrault. You can follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMatt every single morning. It's the Daily Juice Podcast right here on BettingPros.com, brought to you by BetMGM.